Our next contestant, Hugo Vasquez, the other side of fear. The other side of fear, Hugo Vasquez.
I want to share a story about a baby elephant who was born in the circus. As soon as that elephant was strong enough to stand on her own, they used a rope to tie one of her legs to a stake in the ground. Whenever the elephant tried to walk further than the length of the rope, she was yanked back. She tried to get free, but she couldn't. And she finally gave up. Years went by, and that baby elephant wasn't a baby anymore. She was a grown-up, big and strong, still tied to that stake. Who here remembers their first day of kindergarten? Raise your hand. I remember my first day of kindergarten like it was yesterday. My grandma dragged me to school. Ándale, mijito, a la escuela, vámonos. I begged her, abuelita, por favor, no me hagas ir, no quiero ir. But it was no use. My grandma was going to make me go to school, whether I liked it or not. As soon as I walked into the classroom, I saw it. Everybody looked different than me. And I felt completely alone. Nobody spoke my language. And I felt terrified. My teacher did the best thing she could do that day. She gave me a big, enveloping hug. And it helped. I felt better. But that fear remained. The next day, on my way to school, I begged my grandma, abuelita, no me hagas ir, por favor. But when I realized that it was no use, I decided to threaten her. Al cabo que no voy a aprender nada. Which translates to, it's not like I'm going to learn anything anyways. By the end of first grade, I still didn't know my ABCs. Somehow, I managed to stumble my way through school with C's, D's, and a few F's. By senior year, I realized if I didn't pass every single class, I wasn't going to graduate. The fear of not graduating pushed me through to finally start focusing and paying attention in class. I started doing the homework. I started reading the reading assignments. And I started to get good grades. Getting ready to graduate, I was going in with straight A's. I was feeling confident. Everything was going well. Until I had to give my first oral presentation. Fear came back up and I avoided doing any prep work. I didn't practice, I didn't study. The day of the presentation, I had a brilliant idea. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna teach the class how to bounce a basketball. Because what could be easier than bouncing a basketball? So I get up in front of the class. And as soon as I see the students, that same fear from my first day of kindergarten jumps up and grabs me by my throat. And I'm paralyzed for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, until my teacher finally has mercy on me and tells me to have a seat. And even though I got an F on that assignment, somehow I still managed to get straight A's my senior year. I don't know how I did it. But that fear followed me into my career. At work, I did not volunteer for any special projects out of fear of failure. I blamed my coworkers out of fear of me being wrong. And I avoided any responsibility out of fear of the responsibility. Exhausted of fighting fear, running from fear, and hiding from fear, I finally decided it was time for me to take this into my own hands. And I hired a coach. She motivated me to start facilitating a mastermind of entrepreneurs called Startup Life Support. And then I joined Toastmasters. And I started coming here in front of all of you week after week, practicing my speaking. Still got a little bit of work to do. I even created my own series of public speaking workshops that I now teach to students getting ready to start their career. And I just finished my 5th cohort last night. Confronting my fear helped me escape my comfort zone. You remember that baby elephant? She could have easily snapped that rope and freed herself. But she never tried. Most of us have felt that paralyzing fear keeping us stuck. If you want to free yourself, then confront that fear. Look that fear right in the eye and walk right through that fear. Because everything that you want is on the other side of fear. Mr. Conte.